Hello everyone, I'm CZ Lewis, StarCraft2. What I have for you here is a game of Terran versus Zerg. With Zerg being in the upper left-hand corner and Terran played... Wait, no, Protoss. I thought that was Terran for some reason. Applejuice is playing as the Protoss pieces in the bottom right-hand corner. This is a Protoss versus Zerg game. My bad. With Zerg playing in the upper left-hand corner. From here on out, when I call out a comparison number, such as 14 to 11 workers, the first number is going to be the Protoss, with the second number being the Zerg. This helps me streamline being able to give you information that's possibly critical to the situation, or just not really at all important, because the biggest fun in StarCraft is obviously the big battles. So we are currently on Dragon Scales, LE, and we have a little bit of scouting going on here. We have this like nice slow poke overlord that's just lazy. He needs his coffee. It's early in the morning. That's what's been going on. He hasn't gotten his Red Bull yet. He hasn't gotten his wings. Although I don't know if Lokio here is actually ever gonna invest in giving them wings. Protoss decides to be a little cheeky, dropping down a pylon just to delay this early hatchery, which, hey, it's the Zerg's fault here. They could have had a hatchery done or set up, but they didn't. Cancels on that pylon, gets his money back. Probably a little early, but it's better than it going down. And from these Zerglings here that are currently running by and currently streaming toward the Protoss side. Protoss is setting up a really good... I don't know if this is a full wall off. This might be a full wall off. We're going to find out in just a second. It is a full wall off. These Zerglings are stuck at the border, and they are currently attacking this forge. Look at them go. Look at them being attacking. I wonder why they ran away. Yeah, why did you guys stop? You guys could have like gotten a lot done there. Oh, we got a cannon coming up. All right, I didn't see that. Good eye by the Zerg player. Recognize that as like, hey, we got that coming up, and that's not going to be a good idea. Is this? I think this is still a full. This is not. That's a really close wall off. Yeah. Okay. So not a full wall off, but it is protected by a photon cannon. Applejuice here, making sure that that is pretty well guarded, because the last thing you really want is Zerglings in your base. Two gases being fully mined by the Protoss player. Zerg going completely gasless. What are you building? Okay. One queen coming up. We already have two queens on the board. I like this skin. What is this? I need to learn what the skins are, because that's fun. Whee! Alright, we're probably going to move forward just a little bit, try to figure out what exactly is going on. I wonder what his first upgrade is going to be. Okay, so we have adepts coming out on the field. See if they can do some harassment or scouting. As we learned last game, scouting is important. If you do not scout, you cannot counter. And if you get countered, it just takes longer to counter. And then you get the counter. And who knows? Who knows how many counters actually happen? And then you just start building a force of well-rounded counters, and hope that those counters can counter your opponent properly. But is this adept gonna gets surrounded, gets killed off before it can even like find out any useful information, which is a little sad, but I guess that adept wasn't adaptable. These gases are coming down for... This is weird. I wonder why extractors... I've been noticing this a little bit more recently, is that the natural getting fortified and built up for like the original base. But just a little quirk, not a big deal. 40 out of 34 Zerglings, or workers, my bad, are on the board right now, giving Protoss a pretty decent lead. Not really. When we look at the numbers here, we have a lot more gas coming out for the Protoss than the Zerg, but they are basically pretty much evened up with the two expansion, or with the one expansions. I wouldn't be surprised if Zerg actually builds an yep, there it is. Zerg does expand rather quickly. You got a what is this? Why? Why is this a thing? Oh, no, never mind. I am spacing out completely. I thought this was the Protoss on the other side of the map taking over the space, but no. Both sides are building an expansion pretty quickly. We do have a Void Ray on the map that is going to probably get some work done here. Tries to dock out that creep tumor and fails to do so. Alerting the Zerg that there is a Skytoss now on the field. We're going to see Spore Crawlers. We already see Spore Crawlers. And we're going to see some counterplay here. A lot of queens hitting the ground now. And a lot of creep spread. Does he hit it? He does stop one creep tumor. Good for you. Good for you, little guy. Because that's what Void Rays do. They void everything. Long haul mining by these probes over here, getting ready to saturate that third base as soon as possible. Nice strategy. I like that. Basically just building out probes in order to just mine as much as possible until this this base builds up. I wonder if that's actually that's what was going on over here too with the drones. It's nice seeing those little tactics evolve over time. I am about 2 years out of date. I think the last time I actually played this game to some level of seriousness was probably about like 4 years ago, maybe. Watched it for a little bit 2 years ago, so my understanding could be a little dated. I am currently working on that, but these adepts are getting a little bit of work done. I think they got a couple of drones. They got 2 drones, not bad. Vanishing over here. That I don't know if that's exactly what you want. Shading over to a bunch of queens is definitely not exactly a winning strategy, but you know, some people might think so, some people won't. If they got, did they get another drone? They got 4 drones in total, so that's not bad. I don't know if that's worth a few adepts, but hey, Spire coming up. Spire is coming up. We have Roach's Evolution Chamber that is going after that ranged upgrade, which is, you know, I prefer the ranged upgrades and defenses more than melee. Carriers are out on the board, but that is a lot of queens. I don't know if that's a... Wow, he is... Are carriers a thing recently? Like, I don't know what changed. We do have +1 air weapons are actually getting researched at the moment. 2 carriers are on defense, with 2 other carriers just annoying the Zerg as much as possible. Man, look at that. These carriers, these queens are not letting these carriers get a single kill. Oh, no, they got a couple of drones, but boy, they cannot knock out those Spore Crawlers, costing them all of their fighters having to recharge those. How many of those went down? 18 fighters have gone down. Each one of them costing 4 minerals. So, what is that? 472? 4 times 13? Is it 13? Oh, it's 18. So 4 times 18. What we got? So 32. Yeah, 72. 72 minerals. Not a whole lot. Just a little bit. Not a big deal. But now those carriers are getting joined by 2 more carriers. Is he pumping out even more carriers? Yes. This is looks like we're gonna see the Golden Fleet hit the field. All right. Now, if I was playing Protoss right now, I would be researching shields for the Forge. But I have the feeling this is gonna be melee. Yep, melee. Not really sure what the... Oh, that's funny. Just go ahead and claim the extractors there. I mean, like, it does prevent, like, Protoss from being able to claim them for himself, but queens are going, or using up the resource. Oh, getting recalled. Why are you getting recalled? Okay, just to escape those corruptors. Little bit of opinion piece here. I believe that Broodlord should be able to attack sky as well as the ground. I think it's a little unfair that the Zerg, I mean, the Zerg have Mutalisk, which can attack both the sky and the ground, but to me it just seems like Broodlords should be similar to how carriers and battle cruisers act, where they just decimate everything. I mean, I think they're slower than battle cruisers and carriers overall, so It's just that's just my little tidbit here. But we do see a lot of corruptors here. That Skytoss is going to have a hard time. Archons do have that splash damage, which give them that ability to really do a lot of like area of effect damage. I love this. Zerg coming down on this side, carriers coming up on this side, carriers deciding that, hey, I need to go back to my base and defend this. Where did those corruptors go? Those corruptors. this is funny. They don't even know. They don't even know. Yeah, that's great. I love that. Playing a little bit of hide and seek in the fog of war here. Corrosive vials don't really hit anything, but good mix of roaches here that are pretty effective against the ground, and a lot of corruptors catching the Skytoss here in a little bit of a trouble. They don't have a lot of defenses, and now getting hit on another flank by the queens. Not really what you want, but it looks like they got cleaned up pretty well. Good job here. I'm impressed. I need to go back on that. Hold on. What is going on here? How many we got? We have 17 corruptors versus 6 carriers. 3 archons. These carriers, like this, I'm a little bit in disbelief here because I'm actually... Okay, so we do have the Zerg. They have a higher value army. Zerg has a higher population count compared to the army, 118 versus 94, and I broke my rule there. It should be 94 to 118. 94 for the Protoss. So this is an interesting little counterplay here with... I'm guessing these Archons really did a number on this bunched up Corruptors. Lokio really not doing a great job handling those Corruptors in this sense. I really thought these carriers were going to get knocked out by a combination of both these Corruptors, especially those Queens. Once I saw those Queens hit the field or start pecking away at those carriers, it was like, oh, look at this. Wow. Man, they just get ripped apart by this army. So yeah, look at this. Just take a look at this. Would you expect... We have 17 Corruptors here? It looks like we have 17 Corruptors here against 5 carriers. It looks like Zerg does have +1 weapons. Protoss has +2 weapons. Nothing else on the defensive side. Zerg does have a +2 to the ground ranged attack. This is quite a little fight here, because now we're going to do a little bit of a play-by-play. I'm a little surprised by the outcome of this fight. Like that's all I'm saying. These 5 carriers are going head-to-head against these Corruptors. Now, these little guys, they only attack one at a time, so probably a lot of focus fire is needed. And it looks like we're having a lot of focus fire going in as well. One carrier does go down. The carrier's dragging along. This is a good play by the Protoss here. Dragging along those Corruptors right into the field of fire of these Archons. Great play, because now these Archons are going to do just so much AoE damage. We're going to watch the health of these guys. Yeah, you see that? You see all of their health, like, not just some of them are disappearing and a couple of them are getting hit and dropping down to red, but like just everybody going into red at the same time. That's because of those Archons. So getting picked off a little bit. So those Archons are out of range. He did try to pull them to get them closer, but they are all focused on that Void Ray. Smart move on the Zerg side. Not a fight you really want to take against those Archons here. Another Archon is coming in to support these Zealots. We should break that here in just a second. Zealots do create a nice formation here that allows this Archon to do nice AoE damage from the range or from behind. Zealots are trying to contain these roaches as much as possible, supporting Void Ray coming in. But we have all these Queens here coming in on the side. These Archons, wow, what a fight. Like the army value is 58 to 92. Zerg is still in the lead, and a hard lead too. These are impressive numbers here. And it seems like the Protoss really came out on top. Look at this. All of those corruptors have been just completely obliterated. By a combination, just those little movements there saved those carriers. It's hard to over or underappreciate that. These Archons here are just heroes. Now, those Zealots did give these Archons and these carriers a little bit of time to take care of the Corruptors, and now focus their attention on this fighting force here, which is just a bunch of roaches and a bunch of queens. So once those queens go down, the carriers are, I mean, roaches can't shoot up. So this is really bad news for the Zerg. And it looks like we are going to be seeing these Archons go down here pretty quickly. Any reinforcing units? Doesn't look like we have a whole lot of reinforcing units. Those Overlords are just going to go over there and just check out and watch these drones mine. Not the most entertaining thing you could do with your day. If you are an Overlord, you could probably just go online and look up whatever you want. But let's see. Anything on the production side. Both sides are doing a good job. Oh, here we go. Lots of Zealots being warped in here. No warp prism to be able to give immediate reinforcements in, which probably could have helped, but hey, the Protoss has what it has. A little bit of more fighting. Carriers are doing great management, trying to keep these carriers alive as much as possible. They do clean up these queens, and now these roaches are by themselves with no air support. Army value down from to almost tied for a little bit there with the Zerg building up their forces. Yeah, that's what's going on here. More Corruptors are on the back burner here, so it's a Corruptor Roach force trying to counter this force of carriers. Now that the carriers do not have Archons to support them, they do have Zealots. Roach is coming down here for a run-by counterattack, which is a great way to get the Protoss to try to get off of your front door and back into the defensive position. But both sides here are trying to get the other side to either get on their heels or be on the defensive. 41 to 68 workers, pretty much neck and neck. And it amazes me when I watch these games and I'll see fights like that and the army values like kind of jump from one side to another. As one side will like have the advantage and the other side, then it goes back and forth. Corruptors are grouping up here to try to get ready to attack these carriers. It's going to be an ugly fight because I'm pretty sure these Corruptors have had enough. There is no splash damage here. We're going to see how well they do, and they don't do well. Wow, what a game! What happened? Okay. Zerg does call it quits against this Protoss. I thought Corruptors were a pretty hard counter against carriers, but I guess not. How many? I'm gonna go back here just to see what exactly happened. Back just a little bit more. Now I know Corruptors, like one-on-one, I'm pretty sure a carrier takes out a Corruptor. I don't know how many Corruptors it takes to take down a carrier. So like 2 Corruptors per carrier is a good amount. Not necessarily a hard counter. I love this fight. Good straight up fight, basically knocking out the queens, good micromanagement on the carriers, keeping them alive. Once those shields goes down, the other one comes up just to protect. And we have this counter attack here, but yeah, we have 3 Corruptors being built here, trying to run away. These Void Rays do a fantastic job just really knocking this down. The base is kind of important, but there's not really a whole lot of defenses here to be able to handle this. Yeah, so 4 carriers. What is here? What is here? 2 Void Rays and 4 carriers, and they are not at full health. Their shields are recharging, which is helpful, but against 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 Corruptors, so yeah. I see that. Probably going 9, 10. And more are coming in, right? Yeah, we have more coming in. So probably holding off, like creating a force of Corruptors to wait here, especially if you can crank out queens, would be the wiser choice. But with no queens on the map, this is definitely not looking great for the Zerg. I think this was a pretty good tap out. you could let me know in the comments below if you think as a Zerg player you could have countered this, or if you expected, just like I did, for these corruptors to be able to take down the carriers. Also, what you thought of this fight over here. This fight determined the rest of this game. Yeah, all these corruptors needed to be together as quickly as possible, and they just get nuked down one at a time. Can I collect these? Yeah. I'm gonna back up. Okay, so I can actually. This is cool. Select those guys. Select those guys. There we go. All right. Yeah. So this little fight here, this little skirmish, this is basically like the last stand that the Zerg can do, and yeah, one carrier does go down. Another carrier, no, Void Ray does go down. But yeah, there's just not enough carriers or corruptors to be able to take care of this. Yeah, what a fight! What a good game. I definitely want to know everybody's thoughts on this fight here. What they think of it here. The positioning, like, it's really hard to. My initial thoughts is that the Zerg should have had a really good fight here, but just these micro movements made all of the difference. Almost, yeah, here's more roaches. I almost think that Zerg should have tried to run away, but that's hard to tell. I mean, like, yeah, no, I would imagine like these corruptors should have like wiped the floor with these carriers. Absolutely incredible. And you see him. You see. Okay. I wanna watch this guy play this fight out here. Okay, we're gonna zoom in. Yeah. Okay. This is from his perspective. This is Apple Juice, who is I think he's Grandmaster. Absolutely amazing. Just this play. Look at him. Chasing these guys down. Yeah, it's different too when you're like playing the game. This is where you're zoomed in, and this isn't even like proper because he sees less than this because of the UI. So look at this. Look at the handling of that. Amazing microing right there. Just amazing micro. What a game. What a fight. Look at that. What a fight. Yeah, he sees he has resources in the bank, so he spends them. What's he see? Preemptively puts those zealots there and fights those roaches away. Sees the corruptors. Oh, there's a shield battery too. Great defense. Look at this. Look at that, just knocking him out one at a time. Calm, collected. Here, let's go back. Okay, we're gonna go back just a little bit, and we're gonna watch it from the Zerg's perspective here. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna back just a little bit more. Watching him. Here he is. He's trying to get everything together. All right, he sees the Archons. He is on retreat mode. Loses all of his Ravagers to this army. He's trying to gather everybody as he can. Look at all this. Okay. And this is where he makes his stand. Yeah, he stops him, makes a stand, attacks with the Corruptors. Attack moves. Look at this. Absolutely soul crushing. I could, like, imagine playing the Zerg right now and just watching your forces that seem like should be winning lose. Your roaches are winning. Man, the sound of Void Rays have got to be terrifying. I know, as a Zerg player, Whenever I hear that. Okay, so here he is. He's trying to muster his forces, trying to get ready for a counterattack. He's watching all this play down, go down. Losing a base, sees that, decides, nope, I'm going to nope on out of that. Sees this, gets all of his forces together to try to counter this. Did you notice that? Like he preemptively, like he target fire, has a selected target fire to like the void ray and the carriers. You can even see that there in the bottom of the screen. So like he has a plan. He's trying to scrounge up as much as he can, but boy, that was demoralizing watching all of your corruptors just get obliterated. And so now here he's trying to figure out who to target first. Yeah, calls good game. Wow. Wow, what a fight. I hope you all have a good night.